We have a good shorthand together. So sometimes directors say things like, hey, this time refocus your energy towards the outside. And Jake just says, louder. I prefer that. Cameron is super, super funny. She's got a case of the Timberlakes too. You shouldn't be that attractive and be as funny and talented as she is. I get why she's super, super famous. I totally get it. Amy Squirrel is played by Lucy Punch, who like truly has funny bones. She's got a little bit of Peter Sellers in her. She's a real, she really delves deep into the character, and I'm kind of in awe of watching Lucy. She's really attracted to Scott at first because he's played by Justin Timberlake, and he's pretty attractive, whatever. And she also thinks he's rich. She thinks that she's pretty materialistic, and she thinks that he's the heir to some sort of watch fortune. And I wear a Casio calculator watch. But eventually, I kind of wear down on her, and she starts to see the value of substance over, money and style. This movie is going to change lives. Cameron Diaz, Jason Segel, Justin Timberlake, and this amazing cast of hilarious comedic actors all together in one film. People are going to freak out. They're going to freak out. They almost shot this in 3D, but they said, no, that's going to be too much for people to handle.
We watch a couple of takes of what Phyllis is doing, and it might seem that she's playing it a certain way, but there's a lot more to, as you sort of watch her do it, and there's a lot more to what she's doing. And I think that her character, when you watch this movie a third or fourth time, I think that, characters like that really stand out because you're over the physical comedy, you know it's coming. So you actually get to watch the performances, and I think Phyllis is brilliant. I told her just today, actually, that it's really fun to see her in this part because you just don't get to see her. She's done a lot of films and a lot of very memorable comedic moments on film, and none of them have been in this tone. So it's really fun to watch her play this character because it's just something that I don't think people have seen her do. I feel like Scott is just sort of the centerpiece between, Elizabeth and Amy's competition and their contest to just, one-up each other, and he becomes sort of a prize rather than either of them genuinely being interested in him, because the more you get to know about Scott, the more you sort of dislike him. This movie is just funny on many different levels. There's the right amount of physical comedy, but a lot of what's funny revolves around what's been written, and it's a testament to Lee and Gene, the writers, and also Jake, who, comes in and has, it's like a fantastically baked cake, and then, you feel like you're just sort of spreading the icing on it. He's great. This is I'd met him before, but this is obviously we got to hang out a little bit off camera, and we don't have a lot of scenes together. But the writers actually, they added to the original screenplay so that we would have some scenes to play off each other, and they were awesome, and really funny. And I am on the Jason Segel train. Toot toot.
In her mind, she's very sexy. She has her whole after school life going on. She's a fashionista, as you can tell, with her jewels and her hot pink. Most of her boldness is on the inside. It hasn't found an outlet yet. And she's very grateful to Elizabeth to help her find her voice, And Elizabeth is doing a job on her, that's for sure. I loved it. I thought that it was very, of course, very funny, and it was solid from beginning to end. Every character, you've had an evolution in it, and I love Lynn. I identified with her right off the bat. it was just I was just so excited to actually, I couldn't believe that I actually got Lynn, so I was very excited about that. She's just so incredible to work with. She's professional. She knows her lines. She's very accessible and giving as an actor. When we improv together, it just feels so, just morphs, and it's very natural. It just, we transport through the scene. It's really great.
Principal Snur, Wally, to you, because he likes the cut of your jib, I can tell you that much right now, is one of those people in life, real life, who is very good at his job and is courteous and kind and roundly despised. This is pretty common. I don't manage the kids, I manage the teachers, and in this movie, I think the teachers are behaving much worse than the kids are, which is part of the fun of what we have here. Not fun for me, because I have to actually control these teachers, and they're all behaving really badly. Elizabeth is a new teacher, and Amy is not, and Elizabeth is getting a lot of attention, and Amy is not. This is not a good recipe for friendship, or it's a very good recipe for drama. It turns out that there's a lot of conflict between those who are well-liked and those who are not. And unfortunately for Amy, well, her last name is Squirrel. That's the first blow. It's hard to recover from something like that, just having a bad name. My last name is Snur, S-N-U-R. Also difficult to climb out of that hole. There's no purchase here. There's no branches sticking out to get you back to ground level. You're just in the hole.
You have a hilarious scene with Tom Lennon where I'm to deliver a package for Cameron, and we were cracking up because it's like two people that don't really want to fight at all. We both decided that nobody really ever wants to get in a fight, so it's all like the sort of like who can do enough like to scare the other person from fighting, and that's sort of it's the wimpiest fight ever. Jake is a really fun guy to work with. I mean, he's easygoing, free. He definitely gets the shot, which, from an actor's perspective, we sort of have that insecurity of wanting to know that it's covered and covered well. So he definitely possesses that quality, and just his fluidity. Is that a word? I just invented it if it's not. I think audiences can expect an uproarious, raunchy, raucous time at the theater. I mean, I think this movie is exactly why adults love to go to the theaters, to lose themselves in the movie, and it's a pure movie-going experience. It's filled with hilarious people.
Carl Hobby, I thought was the love interest, and then I got to the set, and it turns out that's not true. I'm just like some weird. I play the role that I play in most films, which is creepy, weird white person. But there's a lot of those kinds of roles. So. Jokes on everybody else. Jake Kasdan, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's a dream to work for. He's very collaborative, and he's really super funny, and really just a great funny part of the process, and always has great ideas of how to kind of try a different twist on something like that.
Bad Teacher is the story of maybe the worst 7th grade teacher in the history of the world, played by Cameron Diaz. The character's name is Elizabeth Halsey. We meet her in the beginning of the movie, and she's just been dumped by her fiancé ahead of her wedding, and as a result finds that she can't quit her day job and has to go back to work as a teacher. And she spends the rest of the movie trying to figure out various ways to get out of that job. She's one of the funniest women in the world, and I think that people are thrilled to see her be edgy in this way that she hasn't been for a long time.
The thing is, she's so beautiful, she has this great smile, and so any time that the character would do something horrible, you could contrast that with her walking down the hall and just giving this huge smile. You really feel like the audience completely is with her. She's so likable as a person that like it comes through in all of her roles, and so to give someone who's so likable these lines, it makes it safe. The audience is like comfortable to laugh. She came in, she did her audition, and she was excellent. She just made us laugh from the beginning, and then we did the table read, and she just killed. And it was just great to have her around. Has this amazing energy. She has a way of delivering lines where she's like scared and nervous, like she's almost apologizing for speaking. And to see her and Cameron walk down the hall together, with Cameron in the, her like bright yellow mini skirt, and Phyllis kind of like a couple steps behind trying to keep up with her, is just really funny. And the two of them having conversations about sex and guys and all that stuff, I think, to me, is like one of my favorite things in the movie.
I think that parts like this do not come around very often for anyone, man or woman. It was such a well written script with every part of it just worked, and that doesn't happen very often. Just in the world of making movies, you're often trying to fix things as you go, and nothing needed to be fixed on this. It was just perfect, and we had an amazing group of people who wanted to be a part of it. This character is just one of those that, I couldn't pass it up. The first 30 pages, I was like, there's no way I'm doing this. I can't play this character. She's despicable. There's no way to redeem her. And by the end of it, I was like, yes! I was like, the greatest thing is that they don't redeem her. There's no apology. There's no apology in the end. And that just doesn't happen. Usually it's like the last 20 pages of a script is apologizing for the first 80 or 100. And you're like, it's not fun. What's fun is that this person just doesn't apologize, because a lot of people don't. And that's how it goes, There's no repercussions for her. There was a little bit of ad-libbing. There was Jake and Lee and Jean who were always throwing in lines as we were going along, and their lines are so much better than anything that I could come up with. It was so well written, and it had such a great rhythm that you didn't really want to mess with it. Every person in this cast is a genius comedian. There's nobody in there that doesn't deliver a fantastic performance and a unforgettable character. Lucy is phenomenal. She's such a weirdo. What I love about all the characters is that they start off one way. Everybody around Elizabeth is transparent. She's clear. It's who she is from the beginning, and she doesn't change. But everybody else, you start off thinking that you know who they are, and by the end of it, you're like, wait a second, like, what is this person all about? What a weirdo. We're having so much fun. We're laughing. I mean, you have to laugh through a movie like this. You can't keep it straight. It really is one of those moments where, with like Jason and Justin, whenever I was with the two of them working, there was moments where I was just like, I am never going to be able to get through this take. I have to be able, I'll look over here, I'll look down, and then, the body's I'm doing this, and then they're like, cut, we know you're laughing. You just you can't help it. It's just so funny. It's really, really fun. It was a great movie to make. Everybody's wonderful.